Tensions are high this week in St. Charles as a massive data center gets closer to breaking ground. An open house for residents to share their concerns and ask questions is scheduled for Thursday. The 440-acre site for the data center, known only as Project Cumulus, has been referenced in St. Charles city documents since at least March.
Andy Kroll looks into the concerns of residents and farmers over a potentially decades-long period for project.
Mike and Kelly, the proposed site is located inside the already polluted Elm Point groundwater well field. The split attitude of the city and especially the Planning and Zoning Council members when it comes to what's being called the largest construction project ever in St. Charles is now raising questions about having enough water to even run it.
I don't think words can express how worried I am.
As dangerous as too much water can be for a third-generation St. Charles farmer like Tim Klein, it's a lifesaver for data centers in the growing artificial intelligence age like the center proposed in St. Charles County.
I wake up in the morning and it's the first thing that comes into my mind is this, the protection of our water sources for generations to come.
Data centers like Project Cumulus in the proposed site around Highway 370, Harry S. Truman Boulevard, and Elm Point Road would need an enormous amount of water to keep their many servers cool and online.
How can you chance building something like this, something this dangerous, right in your wellhead water field, and why are they putting fill on top of the surface?
On July 14th, the St. Charles Planning and Zoning Commission denied a hazardous substance handling permit by a single vote, yet they approved a site plan permit with the still unnamed developer. St. Charles officials said the city has hired an engineering consultant to determine whether the city's water system needs any upgrades to meet the data center's water demand near Klein's approximately 260-acre farm.
They've approached us about putting future wells on our property, which we're not against, depending on the location.
According to the city, 60% of St. Charles's water supply is local from the Elm Point Road water treatment plant. The other 40% is bought from the city of St. Louis.
It's not if they're going to need these wells in the future, they're going to have these wells. We're going to need the water.
Last month, St. Charles Mayor Dan Borgmeyer emphasized his support for the project.
And it's a serious investment with 440 acres. It's land that probably has laid fallow for 50 years and will probably lay fallow for another 50 if we don't do something like this.
On Monday, we asked the mayor if there were any infrastructure changes on the horizon to make the data center more feasible. He told us he's signed an NDA agreement with developers, but will be meeting with them on Tuesday to get more details.
And there is a data center open house on Thursday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Foundry Arts Center. A separate Environmental Protection Agency meeting will be later at St. Charles Police Department. Klein tells us he's expecting a final council vote for the data center at City Hall on August 19th at 7 p.m.